All right, welcome back, everybody. No camera today, so I know that will be disappointing to you all to not be able to see what hat I'm wearing today, but no video. Sorry about that. All right, so we are here in week 2 and Wednesday the 10th. You're going to do a couple blocks. So we're just going to continue part modeling. They're going to get a little more complicated. Going to show you some more relations on like how to get these lines, tangent. That's important in our sketching. But this shouldn't be too bad, just some extrudes and some cuts. We'll see how you do. It is metric and 10 millimeters per grid. So like I said here, number 6, I have it 8 grids tall, so that's 80 millimeters, and 6 grids wide, so that's 60 millimeters. So that's how that works. It's a way for me to give you objects without giving you a bunch of dimensions. So it works pretty good for a while, and then we'll actually start to get some more complicated ones in which we'll need some real dimensions. But just, again, we're just practicing part modeling. So that's on the calendar here, and I think I made it due the 14th, which is Sunday night. So it gives you some time to knock these out, and then I might put some practice problems up here at the end of the week, and we're looking at a quiz sometime fairly soon, so I'll get that scheduled also. All right, so good. Oh, I don't think I had the candle submission area available. So now it is available. You still have a couple days to get that done. So I don't think, nobody emailed me. So usually somebody says, hey, that's not available, but it is now. So we should be good to go. All right, let's talk about SolidWorks and these two exercises. So I think I'll focus on this bottom one because I really want to show you some stuff with relations and then also just remind you how to put the material in. So this looks like this is a 10 millimeter diameter hole, right? Because these 10 millimeters for every grid, and that looks like one grid spot, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. Yeah, I guess I'll say 10 on the full. So 100 millimeters on the full, right? So remember, that's down here in this corner. So we want millimeters. We want to switch that right away, okay? And then I just go into sketching, and I'm just going to show you kind of how to sketch that bottom plane, some different strategies for that. So what I want maybe is to locate, out here, or at least give myself a line to work with to locate these two holes, and then I can continue to locate some more holes. So, I probably would use a center line. So a center line is used as a construction line. When you go to do a feature, it's going to ignore this line, okay? So I'm going to actually put a couple of them in. There's a few ways to do this differently than what I'm showing you, but I'm just showing you it's kind of a basic way, right? And it looks like it's going to be one grid short, so maybe 80 center to center is what I'm thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 80 center to center. So smart dimension, this thing at 80. So really, I'm just using these two things as a marker. And construction lines, you can dimension, right? So now I have kind of the end of this line as a marker. I can place that circle. It's supposed to be 10. Notice how the dimensioning looks different in the metric system. That's okay for now. We'll kind of, when we go to make drawings, we'll improve that. So even though it's a metric drawing, it still looks like some standard dimensioning techniques. And then I'm going to make a copy of it. just to show you, just to, you know, practice this stuff, right? It's going to copy. So here is entities to copy, and it automatically put this dimension in because it was chosen. So always keep an eye on these input dialog boxes and make sure the right thing's in there. I don't want to copy the dimension. I want to copy the circle, okay? Or the arc, as it's called. And I'm going to go down here and say from 2 points. So I'm going to go from this center point, boom, now I have it. And I'm going to go over here and place it here. So practice with copy. It's very useful. Notice how it doesn't, even though it made a copy, it didn't dimension it. So it is a copy of it. But this is just an example of kind of some redundancy in SolidWorks. If I wanted this to be fully defined, I would need to put that 10 in there. So it's still having a problem with this, maybe because the actual arc is not dimensioned. The location or end of this line is dimensioned, right? Again, this is the battle to kind of make things fully defined. So, oops, I think I chose the wrong thing. So let's do this. And again, still not defined. So at this point, I give up on it, right? Sometimes when you make copies, it's hard to get things fully defined. All right, so now I'm going to put these outer arcs on. And they look to be a half a grid more, right? So that's 5 millimeters more. So if this was a 5 millimeter radius, right? Or a 10 diameter. Now this is a 10 radius or a 20 diameter. So that's the way I'm going to put it. A 20 diameter. Okay. And again, just to keep practicing, I'm going to copy that entity, not the dimension. I'm going to copy the circle from this center point to that center point. All right, so that's good. Again, kind of my strategy here is to locate these end arcs and maybe this center arc, right? And then I can get these tangent lines on. So this will be by far one of the more complicated sketches we've done so far. I'm just working on the base though, not this upper part. I would do that later. All right. So it appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4 diameter, right? It's super hard to tell there, but I think so. So this lines up with this here, 1, 2, 3, 4 diameter. Yep, I'm going to go with that. So that's 40, right? And it's from my center mark. That's handy there. And looks, well, could be right. It's kind of long and skinny. So I'm going to say that's right. And we'll see kind of what it looks like. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I think I have this wrong. I think that's 40. It's 80 total. Yeah, that's why mine's all stretched out. So that's a decent catch. This right here should be 40. So let's see what it does here when I just go in and change some numbers. Yeah, so all that worked, but this just wasn't tagged to this. So I just need to move some entities. I think this is probably correct. We'll see. So now I am going to move these entities. And with entities to move, I'll do that one and that one. So you can do multiple entities. And then I'll take this to like there. Oh, I didn't bring it. Oh, it could be this is controlling, right? Let's just see. Oh, this is a good, I made a good mistake just to kind of show you some different things that can control the movement. So, all right, I'm happier with that. I'm going to get rid of some of these that I just don't need. Those are good. Everything seems pretty good here. Now, I'm going to get these tangent lines in. So I want to show you how that works. And those are relations. So I'm going to draw a line. What you want to do is you want to make sure not to get near a quadrant. Just be in the general area that you want the line, and then down here. So again, not at the quadrant. Notice what it did. It actually put a tangent relationship in for me and a tangent relationship in for me. So that's really good. That's what I want. But if I'm not careful, when I go to pix, I can get this, and then I could, if I get too close to the quadrant, see what it did? It put a tangent in here, but it didn't here. It put it to the quadrant. So this relationship, I'm going to delete. So I just choose it and delete it. See how it's gone now? And I'm going to add a relation. That's in this area, add relation. And it says, okay, what entities? I'm going to go this entity and this entity. And it shows me the possible relations. I want tangent. So that should have put a tangent relationship in. Doesn't appear that it did. Oh, yes, it did. It just didn't extend the line, right? So there is trim and extend. So I'm glad I went in and looked and saw that. Extend, all you do is you choose the line and it'll shoot it to whatever it's trying to extend to. Okay? So trim and extend are very handy. All right, so I am going to do one more maneuver just to show you how it works. I'm going to mirror some entities. So this entity is good and this entity is good. So I'm going to mirror those about the center line. So it wants to know, like, make a copy or not make a copy. I definitely want to make a copy. And about that line right there. And you can see it gives you a highlight. That looks good. Green check mark. All right, now we're getting somewhere. And again, I'm just drawing the base, right? But now I'm going to trim some entities. So remember, trim, you just press and hold the button, and anything you go across gets cut off, like that right there, that right there, that one, that one, that one, and that one, and this one, and that one, right? I just trimmed it all off. Now I have my base looking pretty good. So I am going to extrude it up. It's going to rotate it, flip it up, and notice it sees those holes or those circles, and it just assumes they're holes. So that worked out really well. I'm going to look at one last time here. Yep, this is looking pretty good. Looks like it's going to go up 10. So that's the part I kind of wanted to verify, and 10 is in there. So there we go, my base. Nice and clean, right? So I have a good start to the beginning of this. Then I think it's just an extrude and then an extrude cut, which will be interesting for you. So that extrude cut could challenge you a little bit. All right, so that's good. The other thing we wanted to do was set a material, and we've done this before, so that's nothing new. I think I said aluminum, and it's way down here, 6061 is a material I work with often because it's a marine grade aluminum. And apply. So that actually gives it a little bit of the aluminum look, I guess, right? Now, the other thing I have you do for each one of these objects is find the weight. So you want to set the material first, or you're not going to get a weight. It's got to know what the material is, right? That is here in sensors. If you right-click in sensor, you can add a sensor. Mass properties is what it's called, and it's going to be in grams, okay? So I think I'll switch that because it's metric. I'm going to leave it in grams. There's other things you can get here for the sensor type, but mass properties is the one we want. So I'll ask for it in grams in this exercise. So when you hit the check mark, it adds the sensor. There's a little triangle there now. You got to open it up, and then it'll show you the mass. Right? And as I add pieces, this will get upgraded as you rebuild. And the rebuild button's right here. When you click it, it just rebuilds everything and recalculates it. All right, so I think that is good enough for you to keep going I will make that change right now for you. So you can actually see it. When you post a file, wait for full credit. Wait, I'll say in grams. So, yeah, you're right. Grams is not weight, but the way the system's working, it is because you would just multiply by the gravitational constant and you would have that weight. So we'll do that. All right. I think that's good. I'll let you go after this upper one all on your own. Modeling intent, right? I might actually draw this surface first and bring it all the way down to the bottom, maybe not. Maybe I would do this block first. Yeah, there's a bunch of modeling intent here that you could think about and think about your process. And I would love to know your modeling intent also when you post. So that would be interesting. All right, nice job, everybody. Stick to it.